Here we go. We are live.
All
What is
right.
going on, brother?
Digging the new music. How's it going, dude?
Dude, it is awesome. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Drink About It podcast. My name is Justin. I'm here with my best friend, Mr. Lee Neal.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Anybody who's their first episode, welcome, and thank you guys for tuning in with us. Anybody else who's been with us for the long run, we love you and we appreciate you, and we can't believe you are still here with us. But we got an awesome episode today. Before we jump into it, we've got some awesome new beers here in front of us from a good friend of ours we've talked about before on the podcast. But Beerakovich Brewing, if you saw on our Instagram, we just got some stickers and a couple of beers from them. So we split it up. We got two different beers. I've got one, and Lee, you've got another. We've been sitting on these for about a week or two now, and it's been tempting me every day not to bust into this and wait to actually drink it for the podcast. But which one did you end up with?
I have in front of me the Zipa New Zealand IPA. I'm very excited to try this. It sounds delicious. 6.4% ABV. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to trying it.
Dude, that's palm. I have the Coco Craze Hazy IPA. It is a hazy IPA that has been, I don't know, not fermented, but steeped, whatever the actual term is. I'll get pulled apart for not knowing it, but it's been implemented with coconut. So I am super pumped for this. 7.5 ABV as well. And I've had it open, waiting until we get started here, and it's been dying not to dive into it. So I'm going to have my first tip here and let everybody
And here we go. Well, Justin's taking a drink here. We'll go ahead and get that open.
That was good. We've never had a bottle open on the other one. Oh, dude, that is good. Oh, holy cow. So with the coconut, it's so weird. You don't smell it. You don't know it, anything like that. With it being a hazy IPA, it's not super bitter at all. And you've got that super heavy, like grapefruit, that like citrusy note. And then bam, as soon as it's done, you get hit with that coconut on the end. That is delicious. Matt, you absolutely killed it. I, again, am upset that I only have one of these to drink because this is awesome. You killed it, brother. This is really, really good.
And
really
Justin got the coconut one because he likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
I do.
So by default, he had to get that beer.
I do, man. Absolutely. I am my most comfortable in a banana hammock, sipping a pina colada. All right, buddy.
Oh man, that is delicious. It's darker than I anticipated the IPA to be.
Yeah, same here. Same with mine.
But it is delicious. It's going down real smooth, easy to drink, super flavorful though. And it's not the hoppiest of IPAs I ever had, which I like. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I know Justin is a little bit. He likes that super hard hop hits, but I'm not necessarily a fan of that. But that makes me like this IPA a whole lot more. It's really good, really flavorful, delicious.
Right on. Yeah, dude, I like to almost like chew on the hops on my IPAs. Like I want them to like punch me in the face. But dude, both of these that we have with them, they're right. We talked about it, like they're not bitter, they're not super heavy. Even with like the higher ABV on some of these, like they're so smooth.
It really is. It's delicious.
Dude, they're killing it. Guys, show them some love. It's Beerakovich Brewing. I will we'll make sure we tag them in this post. Obviously we're having another beer from them as well, but we got some awesome stickers from them. I know it's hard to see right now, but I got them on the laptop. I got a couple over to Lee, so we'll put them out there. But awesome guy over there, and they've been supporting us. We've had a couple of beers now, so we got him some stickers finally. It took forever, but I'm glad they made it that way as well. But just an awesome guy. He's been supporting us from Jump Street, so we love to return the favor and drink awesome beer in the meantime.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to be mad at that,
Right.
Really, we'll be friends with anybody who's going to send us beer, but especially if it's really good like this,
Absolutely. You can send us any beer and we'll drink it for sure.
That's really true. Even if you make bad beer, send it to us. We'll still be our friend. But no, Matt, you killed it, man. This stuff is great. God, that's good.
Delicious.
I'm so mad. I've got a couple, as you know, Lee. I'm always prepared for these. I always have a couple of beers on deck. But I've got a couple of platform. The Speed Merchant. It's a white IPA. It's citrusy, but it's got like a pine note to it. It's a heavier IPA, and I love it. But I had 3 or 4 of these on deck, and I'm mad because I wish I could turn them into this.
Right. More of these.
Man. Oh, it's good. It's awesome. Nice job. Killed it. As
I still haven't already drank half of it. That's how good it is. It is almost gone already.
Yeah,
I was thirsty.
Yeah, right. Well, it's well past beer 30, so let me see. Actually, I think he might have just responded. Oh no, there we go. So, well, we have an awesome topic today. One that I just threw out. We were actually, as we were getting set up, we started to talk about a little bit. We had to keep stopping ourselves because we didn't want to prepare this at all. We like to just kind of dive into these things and
absolutely dying to go back and forth with you on this because I think it's going to be super interesting where we stand on it.
I agree, and we had not talked about this. We talked about it being a topic, but we stopped ourselves from doing some back and forth and kind of seeing where everybody was at. So we may be in line in opinions. We may not be. Most of the time we are. But I'm excited for this. So
there might not be the next episode if we start fighting on this.
This may be the final episode, folks. That's well, enough anticipation. I'm going to put it on the scroller here. So today we're going to talk about separating the art from the artist, which I am so excited to talk about, man. And it's been something that I guess has been in popular culture. I've been talking about it again. Obviously nothing new.
Movement and
right. It's nothing new, but it's definitely been brought up more. I think it's more mainstream. More people are talking about it. And I think there's definitely it's a complex topic. I think you can fall on one side or the other, but it's not super black and white. So I want to get into the gray, if you will, being so I like I said, we haven't talked about it, and it's weird that we ever do disagree on this, but I personally believe that you can separate the art from the artist. Obviously, it's not that simple. There's some caveats to it, but I think you can still separate the art from the artist. What about you?
I agree. I'm the same way. I mean, it's all situational, I think every one of these two that we're going to talk about, it's different situationally. How far are you willing to go to make that separation? Because you don't want to support someone who you're really not in line with. But at what point do you make that, this is okay because,
Right. I think that's always kind of the biggest reason most people are against it, and for obvious reasons, is you don't want to support that person, right? And supporting their art, whether directly or indirectly, supports them, financially is kind of the biggest one, but keeps their name alive, keeps them going, and that's the last thing anybody wants to do in those situations, right? And I think that's always the biggest hurdle that stops most people from separating and being able to still enjoy, whatever that they did, whatever medium it was, whether it's a painting, whether it's music, whether it's a movie, whatever it is, being able to still enjoy that separate from, the type of person and their actions and what inspired them,
Right. Absolutely. And there are different artists who you can still, separate from. Or are there certain ones that their crimes are so egregious that it becomes impossible to separate, because it becomes, I think, at some point something you can't stop thinking about.
Sure, and I think that's the thing with art and whatever medium it is. I always tend to go to like music, right? It's kind of
for sure
big one for being what most people see. Obviously, music and probably like movies. I'm sure. Playwrights and actual artists as far as like painting, sculptures, things like that. I'm sure there's plenty in that field as well. I'm just not as versed with, we see more in modern day with music and movies. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's such a weird line and a weird topic that it's so easy to just say, no, I'm never going to listen to this again. I'm not going to watch this ever. And I think that you can do it within certain respects,
Or if you didn't listen to it in the first place. Like, I think that's a line that a lot of people are making, like with this most recent thing that has come out now, is that whole Marilyn Manson thing. This came out recently.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Oh, you haven't heard about this?
I mean, Marilyn Manson is a crazy person, and we've seen him in concert.
Yeah.
Before, so I honestly don't know what happened with this.
It's that it's there are several stories that have been come out about him where it was like that he made women do things sexually that they weren't necessarily comfortable with.
Sure.
To not dive deep into it, but several accounts from several different women have come out, and they're very similar stories.
Sure.
And
that's
even
where. No, go ahead.
Even like people that he's performed with in the past have talked about him now to where he was just kind of a garbage person in general, and they knew that these things were happening and just hadn't come forward.
And that's terrible, and obviously the guilt that those people have to deal with, now once these allegations come out, and luckily that we're in a good space now that no matter how long ago these things are starting to come to light,
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the movement over the past couple of years, now we're starting to see the truth behind all of these huge name, actors, singers, musicians, whatever it be.
Right.
But no, I didn't know that about him at all, and I think it's tough to where I don't know that, like, for me, like, I don't want to financially support and I don't want to put up on a pedestal. I think you can say, like, listen, this song or this movie, I like when it comes to movies and music and art in general, I feel like it's hard to be super logical with it. You may
Right.
love a song or love a movie and you don't really know why,
Mm-hmm.
it does something to you. It pulls on a string one way or the other. And a lot of times you can't justify that, like, I love this song and I'm obsessed. I've listened to it a million times and
Right.
yeah, it's a great song, but I can't tell you why that I just absolutely love it or adore it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can still say, that song still, for me, it doesn't lose that allure, that luster that it would have once
Mm-hmm.
I know that the lead singer is a shitbag,
Right.
And most of these, unfortunately, you said, are typically stem from like sexual assault allegations or something crazy with minors or whatever it would be. But Lacey with the beer refill.
Yeah. I put these in the freezer before we started, so
There you go.
I had to get them out because I didn't want them to explode.
There you go, Lace. Lacey Neal is the true MVP of this podcast. Everybody
Absolutely.
knows it. At this point, everybody's got to know.
She's the glue.
She definitely is the glue that holds us together. But I don't know, man. Like for me, I can still enjoy that art. As far as supporting them, that's where I think it really muddies the water. Like, you can still enjoy the song, you still enjoy the movie, and say that was a great movie or the song is amazing. But streaming it nowadays and playing it and listening to it, it goes to supporting that artist, and that's what everybody's against. I think it may have been simpler back in the day when we had cassettes and CDs, where that you already bought this CD 10 years ago,
right? And streaming music is easy too, because in that token there's really not that much monetary gain that somebody's getting from someone streaming it.
I don't know that. I don't know that, man.
From the whole, then yeah, they are. Like, big artists are making money off it. And maybe small artists are making a few $100, but there's not a huge monetary gain in like streaming.
Oh, music. Dude, I think you're way underselling that.
No, it literally is. It's cents on the track when
well, yeah, I mean cents, but when you're talking about hundreds of millions,
for sure, big artists are able to make money. For sure.
Oh, absolutely. So it was, if you think about it, I'm not sure if you saw, I mean, you mentioned one that I didn't know about with Marilyn Manson, but did you hear with Morgan Wallen, country singer, young guy?
No, I hadn't heard that.
So Morgan Wallen, and he's been blowing up, and his last album was amazing. It's so good. One of the best country albums to come out in probably the past decade. So good.
Okay.
But went on this like super his claiming after this video came out, he like, yeah, right. So he was drunk. It was like a fight. It was in the middle of the night, right? And dropped like a super hard R, dropped the N-word, dropped a hard R, and like repeatedly, and like clearly knew what he was doing, right? Whether he was drunk, whether he was high, it doesn't matter. Like, clearly knew what he was saying, right?
Right, and at the point, like, I don't care how drunk I am, I've never dropped a hard R before.
Right.
I don't think I've ever done the N-word ever, and I've been drunk on numerous occasions.
Right, inexcusable, right? Not making excuse for what he said, anything he did at all, right? But so what I just in preparation for this, I just saw, so all of this came to light, right, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so, depending on when this episode is that after all of that, he still had the highest streams for the week, for the month, for album sales, everything like that. The sales almost increased because of this.
I think it actually has. In fact, it actually has. The following that he has doesn't care that he said that, and not at all.
That's terrible to think, right?
Right.
But so that just goes to show of like, okay, like almost the opposite of what I'm allocating for, to say, hey, you know what? There's some Morgan Wallen songs I fucking love. I'm a huge fan, right? But every time I listen to one of those songs, that's another stream. That's another fucking 0.25% of a cent, you know, and that shit adds up, you know. He's still making a shit ton of money off of it, right? And obviously, while egregious and inexcusable, what you were talking about before is like, where do you draw the line on, are certain acts redeemable? Can you still listen to old songs and not think like that inspired that? You know, I for one think you can. I think I can look back at his song and say, okay, listen, somebody that would say that in that situation, a mistake be it as it is, I can still look back and listen to that song and still enjoy it for what it is, separate of him being a trash human being, you know?
Right.
Which is, it's so weird, man. It's so hard. Like, I don't want to support these artists. Clearly, nobody does in that situation. I think you're a terrible person if you're like, oh yeah, well, fuck it, I don't care, give them money anyway, you know. But at the same aspect, I think it's disingenuous, and I think you're lying to yourself if you say, like, this song or this movie, I don't like it anymore. Like, of course you do. Like, I think that's crazy for people to say that, but at the same token, you definitely, I can see what people say, hey, I don't listen to this band anymore, or I'm not going to buy a concert ticket. Like, I 100% agree with that. I get it. I think,
and what point to make that distinction too? Because I mean, we can all agree that, you know, saying those words are egregious and things like that. But at what point, you know, where does that distinction stop? Like, he can, okay, so you say that he can get away with this, but where does it stop? Does it stop with something like what Kevin Spacey did? Does it stop with something like what Bill Cosby did? You know, where does that line get drawn? You know, because obviously these crimes are very separate, and varying degrees of what they did. You know, obviously, like Bill Cosby being pretty much the apex of that spectrum. You know, what he did was wrong in every level. You know, and it wasn't just saying words. You know, I understand that we shouldn't say those words for a reason. You know, but it doesn't matter who you are. No one out there is saying what Bill Cosby did was not that big of a deal. You know, like no one. It's not possible.
No, you're right. Nobody's gonna. But does that? Can you not still watch an old episode with Cliff Huxtable? I think it was Cliff, right? Like, I
never watched it. I was never a huge Cosby fan.
Really? Oh, see, I was.
I mean, I like some of his comedy routines, and I remember like being a kid and watching like the one where he was at the dentist. I remember that. Like, are you satisfied? He's are you satisfied? Like when his mouth was numb. I remember laughing at it because it's so funny.
Right.
I mean, and he was a master, a real true master of the art of comedy. You know,
sure. and also one of the worst human beings to ever live.
Despicable things that he did to women.
Right. And so, like, what is the answer with all of these? Is it so I was reading an article about this, and it brought up a good point that I completely did not even consider, which was when you support when you stream, say, you know, a Morgan Wallen song. I'm going to go back to that.
Sure.
Obviously, there's more people. There's producers. There's people who worked on the mixing. There's distributors, right? Tons and tons of people who still get monetary value from this artist, right? That are now losing out on that. Right. Is the answer right to sure, right. And I want to think about that. Okay, so like, you know, you said Bill Cosby, Kevin Spacey, right? So when you pull these movies and then they're off of streaming services, right? There's other people that are affected by that. Right. So I think the answer would be more, how do we remove them from, is it do you still allow their medium to be out there, and do you remove them from monetization? Because is that really truly the answer, right? Okay, well, they're not getting paid for it, but their name is still out there, their face is still out there.
Right.
Like, with all the shit that Bill Cosby did, does he deserve to have his face still out there and have reruns, of the Cosby Show still out there, right? And I don't think that answer is super black and white. Like, I can make an argument either way, and I don't really know what the right answer is,
I don't think anybody does. Truly, to be honest with you, it's so situational and how you feel as a person, whether you're willing to separate the art from the artist. And I think even, the difference of these crimes, and it sucks to say, but the success they've had, it all varies, on whether or not we're willing to make that separation. Like, we go back even to, like, I'm not super familiar with this country artist. I literally only know him because of what he's done now in the news.
Yeah.
And but then there are artists like Michael Jackson, who every person in the world is familiar with.
Everybody knows.
Every radio station is playing Michael Jackson, and he's not been canceled one bit for the things that he's done, or has been accused of doing. And I think just about everybody knows that has happened.
Oh, right. With the allegations, everybody knows Michael Jackson, and I would say 99% of them know the allegations behind it as well. Right.
Right.
And true.
But am I not going to jam to Billie Jean? Like, you're crazy. Like,
yeah, man, it's so tough. Like, and right. Like, I hope people aren't going to listen to this and think we're terrible people. I mean, I think it's such a complex thing, and it's so hard. And I respect people on either end,
Right. And absolutely. And in that same token, we're not dismissing what these people have done.
No.
We're saying what these people have done is wrong. And whether or not we can still, accept them is one thing or the other. It's just our thoughts.
Yeah, dude, it's so tough. And it's a weird, controversial topic, and I'm glad that we're talking about it. I assumed with everything else, for as long as we've been friends, I figured we would kind of fall along the same spectrum on this. It wasn't going to be this episode where you're like, no, fuck them. It doesn't matter what they did, put them on there.
Right. And in the least snootiest way, we're both, and in the least snootiest way possible, I think we're both lovers of fine arts. Like,
oh yeah,
very much lovers of music, lovers of movies, anything and everything, like pop culture. It's very interesting, and we both get a lot of enjoyment from it.
Yeah. So dude, it's so tough. It really is. I really don't know what the right answer is. I really don't.
And I don't think there is one. It's just how you feel. Like, and I know there's another big one that we were talking about here, like R. Kelly. Like, for whatever reason, what R. Kelly is doing with these women, it hit me like super hard. And I deleted R. Kelly from my phone when I heard about it. Like, I don't know why, but it just I've not listened to it since. It just really hit me. And I liked his music. I had it on my phone.
Oh my God. Talk about like even Michael Jackson, everybody knows Remix to Ignition.
Yes. Yeah.
Like exactly. Everybody knows that song, right?
At least in our age group, for sure. Everyone knows that song.
That transcends generations, I think. But right. R. Kelly, right. Probably right up there with like Bill Cosby, just absolutely terrible human being, And right. And I'm with you. Like there's a couple other bands, brand new, Front Porch Step, Trap.
Mm-hmm.
There's been tons of bands that come out. Obviously, you can tell what we listen to by hearing this, right? But there's tons of them, and I know people that won't listen to them at all, and I respect that, and I totally understand it. Of just saying, listen, what they've done is too bad, it's too egregious. I don't even want to put their name, like you said. I'm deleting them from my iPod, completely gone. Forget they exist, right? But I think it's so tough. Of like, it's hard to still, I don't want to say deprive yourself, because I feel like that's a small sacrifice to make. But when you have a movie you love, or a song that really, either helped you out through a tough time or so, why deprive yourself of that? Of saying, listen, this song's still outside, completely separating them from this one song or this one movie or this piece of art, versus, okay, this person's a terrible human being. Screw what they did, but still this one piece. And it's weird because we were both terrible amateur musicians. We played in, I know you were in marching band, and I played tons of instruments in high school, all terribly. and I think I learned like 3 songs on acoustic guitar, just enough to like impress girls, and that was it.
That
But
didn't work.
right,
FYI.
it definitely did not work. Right. So anyway, here's Wonderwall. Would have been a great transition. I just like, just pull it out, you know. But I don't know, like,
out.
right? Just immediately we lose everyone. We've already lost everybody just because of this. But no, I like obviously a lot of artists, movies and music and painting, whatever it would be. A lot of them, you know, their medium is an expression of themselves, right?
Mhm.
And then you have some artists that completely separate themselves from that. Obviously,
Right.
I would say a lot more in like movies, but like Martin Short did one as well, like in an interview. He's like, I am not any of my roles. You know,
Mhm.
he goes, I don't take that with me. You know, I am exactly what that role needs to be in that movie. And then I'm not, I am
Right.
my own person outside of that. You
And
know,
like on a whole other thing with that, like it's crazy that like the actors and actresses who can't get away from roles. You know who you hear about? Like I can't remember his name right now. You probably know it, but the actor that played Mr. Bean hates Mr. Bean because
oh
he
yeah,
cannot get away from it. He'll never not be Mr. Bean, and he can't stand it. Like
sure.
just stuff like you think about like all those characters in The Office. They'll never not like Jim will never be not Jim from The Office. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. He's done a ton of like SNL skits on that as well. Of like people
Right.
would just be like, oh, you're Jim, right?
And he kind of embraces it. But
Oh,
there are so
sure.
many actors and actresses, or like even musicians. Like you hear about these musicians, we hate playing that song because that's all anybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
You know, when you
Right.
just and then there's other musicians on the same end that embrace it, you know, that
Right.
just live for it.
Sure. Yeah, it's a two-way street in that aspect, I would say.
Yeah, like Beastie Boys. That whole like fight for your right to party thing. That was just they were just making fun of frat boys, and then they became what that song was fighting and making fun of, and it
Right.
totally blew up, you know. And
Sure.
when it blew up, they became that thing, and then they kind of went a whole opposite direction after that. But that's another topic for another time, I suppose. But
yeah, I don't know. Beastie Boys. We could probably go on Beastie Boys for a whole episode, or at least
and I
you
don't know
could.
if you've
I
seen
know
their,
you're a bigger fan than I am, but
I don't know if you've seen their documentary yet on if anybody has on Apple TV, but it's
No.
totally fantastic. It's not very long, but it's worth a watch for sure.
Really? Oh, let's check it out. You said it's on
Very
Apple TV.
interesting. Yeah, and it's just them, you know, just the two of them standing up and like talking in front of an audience, and they'll play things like on the screen and stuff. But it's really interesting.
Oh, right on. Yeah, dude, it's so I don't know. It's so weird and it's so hard. It's definitely something that I struggle with. I don't want to say every day, but I struggle with quite often of exactly that. Like we'll be putting on an old playlist or something, or we'll be going through old songs. Like, oh, gotta skip that one. Oh, gotta skip that one. You know, like, oh, can't listen to that. You know, on to
You
the
can't
next.
possibly live your life that way. I think you know you can't.
Right. I mean, which is terrible to say, and it's not. I mean, it probably is coming off like, oh well, boo hoo, you had to skip a song because this guy, you know, sexually assaulted a bunch of people.
Right.
But it's where it's so hard to draw that line. You know, I think it's so weird, man. I feel like it's probably a personal call. I think most people are probably in our boat. I say most people would probably agree with us.
For sure.
And again, we respect people who wouldn't, who just say, I'm not going to listen to them. And I get it. I get that argument a lot, but not the same aspect, man. There's certain songs from certain artists that are just, they hit, man. In certain
For
ways.
sure.
I don't know. Just deep down, man, they get to me, and I can say, hey, this guy sucks. I'm never going to go to a concert. Like, I don't know what it was. We were
someone you don't typically know too. Like I know a lot of people. Like if you were in the comedy scene or like really enjoyed stand-up comedy, you like Louis C.K. because he was again, you know, not at the top of the game, but he was.
Oh,
he was
sure,
probably
huge name.
One of the funniest comedians, you know, of our generation.
And bringing in huge numbers. I mean, selling out everywhere he went. Right.
And he had that show. You know, if you were into stand-up comedy, I think Louis C.K. was a bigger name. But if he's not a household name like some of these other ones are, like Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. But you know, Louis C.K. will probably never come back because of what happened. You know, pulling it out in front of girls, you know, stuff like that. He'll never recover from that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that right? Or can I still watch Louis C.K. His show and not feel bad about it?
Yeah. Dude, it's tough, man. It really is. It's like it's so easy to just label somebody and say, "Hey, you're a terrible person for doing this. Like you should not watch your show. You should not do that." But at the end of the day, I think we're in agreement that you can separate what they did prior to these allegations coming out, and if you want to say, "Hey, you know what? Like I would never in a million years buy a ticket to go see Chris Brown in concert."
For sure. Well, that's
Right.
just not, but again, that's easier to do because it's not necessarily like I'm not going to do that anyway.
Oh, well, I mean, I probably would, or somebody. I mean, I like Chris Brown, or I did back
Yeah,
then. But it's like I would never go. I'm not going to buy any merchandise. I'm not going to download any songs. I'm not going to fucking go to a ticket. I don't think.
And he's sort of come back from that. He doesn't hear a whole lot about it. I mean,
Listen,
memes
that
on the internet.
that is one that is bullshit that I think is ridiculous. Of all of these bands and people we've talked about, most of their careers are over or are close to over. And Chris Brown is the exact opposite. He's probably the only one that's just like still being able to go on tour, still put out new albums.
And there was proof that he did this too. I mean, it was not. It was not just like he said, she said thing. It was like he beat her.
Allegations from 20 years ago. Right.
Right.
That is one I can't fucking believe that he's still out there. Right. But then you can say, like, okay, when he was 16, like fucking Run It, like that album, like, dude, that shit was great. I love that shit in high school. I was all about it, man. Everybody fucking played that shit back in like 05 or whatever the hell it was. Back like those songs were great. They're probably terrible, like they're super cringy, but it brings you back to that time,
For sure.
But you could also say, like, Chris Brown's a piece of shit. I'm not going to play them. But then it goes back to, like, when I play a song, I'm talking about him, I'm bringing him back up, I'm giving him money. It's like it's supporting the artist again. So it's like, it's a weird dichotomy, man. It like the exact opposite of what you want to happen by enjoying these in the past and separating it almost comes back on itself. So it's such a slippery slope, man. I'm interested to see what people's thoughts are on this after we put this episode out. I really am, and I think there's arguments to be made on both sides, which I feel like we would cover pretty well. But I'm definitely interested to see some outside opinions, and I think 99% of people are around with us,
right in the same boat. I totally think
or close to it. It's like you got to take it case by case, and I think individual by individual. And I don't know that there's a right or a wrong answer. And I think as long as you're not going out there and like petitioning and buying tickets for Chris D'Elia or Chris Brown, and I think you're okay.
I forgot about Chris D'Elia too. Yeah, that's crazy.
Did we ever figure out what happened with that? I mean, obviously,
and the craziest thing, like he even has like jokes about that he would never be that person.
That was weird. There was one, I saw a video with him where like somebody said something, and it's so weird to say, like hindsight, obviously because the allegations came out, but it was like a random interview that they did, and somebody said that you could save Snapchat messages. And like there was a camera on him, but like it wasn't focused on him, and it just like zooms in and watches his face. He just goes like white as a ghost and is like clearly clearly internally like freaking out because he did not know that. He's like, oh fuck, like that is not okay. It was a weird one, but I don't know, man. It's so tough.
And there's all these things too, like how like this stuff was happening in like Hollywood and the music industry, and there are so many like hush hush things that we still don't know about. And
Absolutely.
And there are other people out there that are still getting away with it, for sure.
Unfortunately, you're probably right, and I agree. It's terrible to think. I'm glad that we're going to be learning about these things. Not glad that they happened, but glad that they're finally coming to light. But within this year and next year and the year after, right, we're going to learn more and more about these things that happened in the past, and unfortunate as they are. And that just, okay, well, this comes out on another artist that we like. An album 15 years ago or an album the year before, whatever it was, can you still enjoy the music? Can you still enjoy the movie and separate that from them, or can you draw the line? And I think there's certain ones that we say no to, and there's certain ones we say, okay, it's I don't know, man. It's so easy to just say no and fuck it, but I think it's
right.
99% of people are probably like still enjoying it anyway,
Oh, for sure. Even if you're saying you're not, you definitely are.
Right. I think it's hard to lie to yourself. It's easy to just not do it, but to say that you don't enjoy it anymore is, in my opinion, probably disingenuous. And I'm sure there are people that aren't, that can make that distinction. But and a lot of the arguments are like, okay, well, what if you were in this situation, or what if it was somebody that you knew, right? And that really puts it into perspective, right? Of saying, okay, well, what if it was your family member? What if it was your wife, your sister, whatever it was, would that change your opinion? So there's a lot of arguments to be made, and it's crazy. But this all stemmed, like, we were cooking dinner the other day, me and my wife, and we had like this, I don't know what started it. I think it was, I randomly, how you just like go down the YouTube rabbit hole of just like, or like the Facebook rabbit hole. It's you're like watching one video, and then it's 5 hours later, you're naked in a beanbag eating Cheetos. You don't know how you got there, kind of thing.
Right.
And I remember what it was. It was Best of Me by The Starting Line.
Oh, okay.
That came out, right. And and that just stemmed like, all right, great. I'm going back to early 2000s pop punk.
Right.
Anybody who knows me, that's like that's my shit. So we were reminiscing and like going down that line, and I was like, oh fuck, man, I can't listen to this song. Like, oh, this guy fucking. Or I would like telling Kate, because like you mentioned before, like we're big music heads more than anything,
right?
But we know a lot of these bands, and unfortunately they've come out over the past couple of years. And I'm telling Kate, I was like, oh shit, did you know about this guy? Or, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this band too? And it's almost every 10, 15 minutes, somebody would come on, and unfortunately had to have that conversation again. I'm like, oh, did you hear about what this guy did too? Right. Damn. Like, dude, we should talk about this. I want to see what Lee thinks about it. So
speaking of like going down the rabbit hole too, I love doing that. Like, and mine and Lacey's musical taste overlaps quite a bit, especially when it comes to like the whole new metal thing. Like, she was into that in school, but it doesn't overlap. She never listens to any like the emo music that I did.
That's crazy.
I'll jump down those rabbit holes, and I go down alone, and it's like, how did you never hear this?
Right? Isn't that like, so weird too? Right? Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of like this. Everybody has their echo chamber, like their circle that all listen to the same stuff. Like, you obviously kind of gravitate to those. But when you hear certain songs and somebody doesn't know it, it's like earth shatter. Like, there's no, like, you're lying to me. There's no way you don't know this.
No way you didn't hear that.
Everybody knows this, right?
Well, I believe it was AC. I mean, she went to Lakes from a super small town in southern Ohio. So
yeah.
For her even to be into like the whole like new metal thing and stuff, I'm sure that wasn't very big in like the school that she went to.
Right.
It had to be all country music and stuff like that, or like rap at the time, like Eminem and things like that. So she's like super into Eminem. She knows all that stuff. She'll go into like Linkin Park, like Meteora, and some of the other like new metal stuff with me. But then when I go into like My Chemical Romance or The Used and stuff like that, she doesn't follow me there. She doesn't know it. I'm like, how did you never hear this? Like,
dude,
this is what I lived on.
Dude, I'm with you. I do the same thing with Kate all the time. However, we were cooking dinner when this whole story came on. And she's like, "Can you play Helena by My Chemical Romance?" And I was like,
"Yes." I think it's the one Lacey knows.
Right. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to keep you around.
You can stay.
I was like, you know what? You can stay, girl. I think we can make this work. It was great. I was like, oh man, I've never been more proud. Never been more proud in my life.
Helena, man. I remember being like a luncheon with you in middle school and like singing Black Parade and stuff like that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we truly were. We definitely were. That was a great phase though, man.
Music was.
Music was great back then.
But I think every generation feels that way, because it takes you back to that time in your life when you were young and carefree and didn't things didn't matter. Even like even you can tell like Lacey, and I go back to like her, her upbringing. She was very very small town in southern Ohio, and like her dad listens to all that like 70s 80s country music, so she like grew up on Haggard, George Jones, all that stuff. So and it's she'll sing along to all that, all day long, which is awesome. I love it too.
Yeah.
That's what my grandpa listened to, so it's very cool. And I'll go down that rabbit hole with her. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. She just, I guess. So I guess I can forgive her for not listening to The Used.
right. Oh no, she's still got good taste. I just saw
She
you
definitely
check.
does.
I just saw you check your watch as I saw my phone go off as well.
Right.
In the group chat, that is me, you, and Lacey.
And Lacey.
Is that exactly it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep, that's it.
So she took some way better photos. Shout out to Lacey Neal Photography. Link in the description below. But yeah, she took some awesome photos with your beer and everything in the mic. With Beerakovich. So we'll share it with them. We'll put it up on the post once we put the episode live. So now we have some more exciting news though. So we're doing our second live remote podcast, and that is next week. Lee, I'm going to let you talk about it because I don't like to say it, and I definitely don't like to say it after a couple of beers. So
it's
why don't you tell the people where we're going to be?
Cloven Hoof Brewing on March 7th at 2 p.m. We're going to live stream from there. It's going to be freaking awesome. We're going to talk to some of the people out there. Lacey's made the connection, of course. Shout out to Lacey again.
Yeah, right. Our manager, right.
But yeah, with Cloven Hoof Brewing, it's in Ashtabula, Ohio, so not too far from me.
Boom! Here we go. Added it to the scroller right there. So we had an awesome. We had so much fun at Mortals Key doing the remote, and it went probably about as good as it could go.
For sure. I mean, we'll definitely be back there. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Once the weather breaks, I think that place will be really cool to go out and. Excuse me. Go out definitely like during the summer once it's warmer and you get to be outside a little bit and see the grounds. But with us, that was the first time we've ever like taken our setup on the road, and had no idea how it was going to come out. It was really funny. Once we started going live, or once we started recording, I couldn't remember what I had set the gain level on my mic for. And it was the first time that we did a recording without our like live playback with our headphones. And so literally the entire time in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I bet this sounds like shit. Like either it's way turned down too low or it's like super cranked and you're hearing like the guy in the back, like cleaning dishes. And it took me like a good like 30 minutes to eventually, I was just like, well, screw it. Like it is what it is, you know? Yeah. Oh God, I felt so bad. And it came out great. And Jennifer did amazing. She was awesome. So
she was so good. I mean, we really put her on the spot too, because but she did so well. She was so well spoken, you know.
I know, right. And we didn't clear anything with her. We just like, hey, sit down. Here you go. Here's a bunch of questions.
Right.
Which would suck. I mean, any of our guests that have been on before, probably with the exception of like B3F, who've done a shit ton of episodes. Anybody else who's been on here, we always do like a little debrief after our episodes, and they're always like, "Oh man, I was so nervous at first," and you know, and then it kind of gets a little more relaxed, and then you get going, but. It's way harder, and not to toot our own horns because we're probably really terrible at this, and people are just humoring us for the past couple of months. But
you know, I hope not. I was talking.
I hope not either. I know.
I was talking to Lacey about being on the podcast, the episode that we did for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Not long ago. And she said, man, that is way harder than you guys both make it look.
Yeah, dude. It truly is. Once like the lights are on and the camera and the microphone in front of you, it's way different, man. Once you hit that live button, that's how it was like when we did that shit to Jeff. I hit recording while we were just talking. in hopes to like edit it out later, and he saw it go on, and like immediately it changed.
Just stopped.
Like it's so weird, man. I think we've gotten a lot better, obviously, from our first episode to now. But
it's more comfortable, just doing it makes it easier for sure.
Right, repetition. I mean, competence breeds confidence, and as we do more of them, we get a little bit better at it, and then we get more confident with it. But,
and Justin has such an elegant saying, "Well, confidence breeds confidence," and I just feel like fake it till you make it.
Oh, dude, that is my life. That is. I don't think I've ever gotten anywhere in my life, in my military or professional career, without just like faking it until I figured it out. Exactly.
Justin's one of those guys. He definitely, if you don't know him personally, he exudes confidence. And I feel like I do to an extent too, but I think Justin takes it to that next level.
I think the issue is the issue is like 98% of the time it's like completely unjustified. But it's like, fuck it. Well, why not? Why not fake it till you make it?
Exactly. My mom had this great saying, and it kind of applies here too. She and just in being confident when like talking to other people. So the worst thing anybody's ever going to tell you is no. So just do it. Yeah. Just ask those questions. Get it done.
Dude. Yeah. If you don't ask, then the answer is always no.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Look at us getting philosophical at the end of the episode after everybody already turned off when we started defending everybody. No, man. I think it'll be good. I think like I said, I'm pumped to see what people's responses are and what their thoughts are on this. We'll probably put the poll out or something.
Leave us a message.
Yeah. Oh man, the message thing. I totally forgot. So we did, and just out of like to stay sincere to our word, we put it out there 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half, whatever it was. We put the link out for people to send us a voice message. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I had super high hopes for this. And we did get one response.
Oh, no way.
So oh man, that just goes to show like our level. So we're just talking about us being confident people, and then it just goes to show like our level of confidence in this podcast, where we're like, oh, one person responded, no way. But somebody did, and it is. I've realized that it's easier for us just because we do this. We've done it so many times that it's hard to just like go on recording. Like nobody wants to hear themselves talk, except for me being the narcissist that I am. It's harder to just like record yourself and send it in. But we did get one message, and true to our word, I do want to play it now.
Oh, please do! I'm so excited.
Our message, and I'm not going to tell you who it's from. I obviously know because I have it here in front of me, but I don't. I will after.
Okay.
But I'm not going to preface it with who it is, but I'm sure you'll recognize the message, but I'm not sure you'll know who it was. So without further ado, I will play our one message from. It was sent on February 17th, so about 10 days ago. Here we go.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough wiper. I fought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you recognize that quote? And you should. I want to be so fucking disappointed if you don't.
Yeah, it's from Monty Python.
Okay. Thank you. Did you recognize the voice though?
I don't know who it is.
I agree. So no, not really.
Okay.
Obviously was doing a terrible accent. But it was my brother-in-law, Adam.
I was gonna say that. That was Adam.
Yeah, so it was Adam. What's really funny too, of all the responses that we got, which was just Adam, he sent it to me within. It had to be less than 5 minutes. Immediately when that post went live, I put it on there with the link, and like boom, I got it. I was like, holy shit, we already got our first one. This is gonna be great. It was only Adam. It was the only one we got, and it was that message. So
just to go deeper on that quote with you, do you know why he says your father smelled of elderberries?
Oh God, please enlighten me.
Because prostitutes in medieval times would smother themselves with elderberries to smell better. So
Get the
because
fuck
his
out.
father, 100%, because his father would smell them meant that his father was seeing prostitutes because he smelled of elderberries because he was seeing prostitutes. That's what that insult means.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, right.
All right. I do. That's amazing. I'm surprised I didn't know that. That hurts
it's
me that
pretty
I didn't know that.
interesting.
I'll have to I'll have to link the photo of us at the medieval fair from 15 years ago to attach to that quote. Oh my god, that's crazy. I did not know that. That's awesome. Dude, hopefully listen, you know what? If the medieval fair opens back up this year, we need to go.
Oh man, that would be so cool. We need to
do it because oh hell yeah, I put the photos of us from way back when on, I think it was Instagram that I posted, or Facebook, wherever.
I wonder if we can get someone to talk to us about like mead.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We totally need to do a broadcast from the medieval fair talking to somebody about
mead. if it's open. So the mayor, or not the mayor, the governor, excuse me. The governor just announced that in Ohio, where we're at, that they are starting to roll out plans to open up the state for weddings, graduations, fairs, events, banquets, things like that. So if the medieval fair is open this year, I'm going to commit both of us, whether you like it or not, that we are both, one, going, and two, we'll definitely do a live remote broadcast there.
We definitely need to do that. That'd be so much fun.
I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll have to do it like with like a hotspot on our phone or some shit, but we will make it happen, dude.
Oh yeah, you got to imagine on 534 there's no internet.
Oh, right, because it is in the middle of I don't want to say nowhere, but it's in the middle of wine country out in like super northeast Ohio, like right on the border with Pennsylvania, where it's just all it is are just grapevines and just tons and tons of just open land for as far as you can see. So that dude, we got to make it happen for sure. If not, we'll just we'll spend a night where we'll just dress up in medieval garb and have Lacey take
we'll do like a video of it or something and post it.
Yeah,
if we can't actually do it live.
Yeah, we'll do a full photo shoot. We'll bring some swords, and
it's really cool. We can interview some of the performers.
Dude, that'd be cool.
An interview. Yeah.
Dude, I used to love it. Fuck anybody who like talk shit on the medieval fair. I had the blast doing that.
Yeah, right. Like there was like the fire breathers and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, man. There was like there's falconers and like jousting. I remember we used to get like a turkey leg that was the size of your fucking head.
Yeah, there's a picture on Facebook. I'll have to send it to you so you can post it.
Do you have of us with the turkey leg?
I have one of me when I went later, but I don't know if I have one of us.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
It's cool. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. Whatever. You went without me. It's all right. I went without you, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think we won free tickets from like a radio show here or something.
Did you?
Yeah.
I have not been since we went.
Really?
I don't know. A long time ago. 15 years plus.
Yeah, definitely. At least. I mean, that was, and we were really young. Even from just knowing each other, that was probably like one of the first year or two we actually knew each other.
Yeah, we were not driving.
Like 8th or 9th grade, right?
Yeah, my mom drove us out there. 100%. 100% my mom drove us out. Yes. That's why. Oh my God.
Shout out to Mrs. Ramey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mom, for taking us out there on that. Well, I just opened another beer, but well, shit,
I got one more here too.
Do you really? God,
yeah, I'm ready to be 16-ounce boys. I've had 2 of these 16-ounce.
Hold on. You're not saying 16 ounces and drinking Miller Lights.
They are Miller Lights.
Fuck off, dude.
It's the yogurt, I'm telling you.
It's the yogurt.
I'm not trying to get fat.
You realize that there are 4 people who understand that reference, and we are 2 of them. It's like me, you, and Jeff, and maybe Lacey that actually remember that. Oh my God, dude, that's funny. Well, I tell you what, man, I hope that we can get out. It's great that we were able to go out to Mortals Key and going out to Cloven Hoof. Hopefully, as things open up a little bit more, with the state, like we were talking about, that we can go out and do some more of these remotes, because I had a blast doing that. I think that's hopefully as the weather warms up and as restrictions get a little bit less. I know I just got my first round of the vaccine. I know your wife just got hers. Kate's already been through all of hers. So I didn't get any superpowers just yet. I'm waiting to hold out. I don't know if the ringing in my ear is my new 5G, but
that's a microchip. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. So it's funny, when I got mine, I thought about it, because you see all like the fucking photos online of everybody with their little vaccine card, you know. I thought about doing that and saying something about like, oh, dude, I got my 5G chip, and also birds aren't real. So I thought about doing that, but I was like, man, there's too many people online that like wouldn't get that joke. There'd be like 4 or 5 people that would laugh, and everybody would be like, oh,
right.
But I didn't. But I'm fine. I have not grown a third limb or anything like that, so I'm straight for now. So hopefully in the future we can do more of these remote broadcasts, which I think are kind of the future as we're kind of trending here. So
for sure.
And Cloven Hoof should be sweet.
Cloven Hoof Brewing, March 7th at 2 p.m. guys. Very exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And this is another one that we're doing live. So we've only done Mortal's Key live. This is the only one that we've done. We did a few of them backscene when we started doing the video stuff. But this is the next one that we're doing live. So we'll be a little more prepared. It was nice that Jennifer kind of stole the show at Mortal's Key and really kind of carried us as always. But I think we'll be a little more prepared and kind of excited to be out there. We'll get some photos taken and all that fun stuff. But we'll make sure we tag them in this episode too, just for shouting out. But I don't know, man. I think that's all I had. We're about an hour into this. Did you have anything else we wanted to tackle into it? I
get to watching that Kevin Spacey movie and listening to Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know, dude. Did you ever watch House of Cards?
I watched some of it. I never like dove into it, but I know I would like it.
I loved House of Cards too.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Everyone did. Everyone that watched it did.
Yeah, it's a slow start. Like, I don't know. I think I was committed to it like after a season or two. Like, you really got to give it a chance. But like, God, Kevin Spacey was so good in it. And then you hear
he's such a good actor. He really is.
Yeah. Also, apparently sexually assaults 16-year-old boys.
Yeah, right.
So can't watch House of Cards. But what was such? Oh God, so good. I keep trying to get my dad to watch it. I feel like he'd be so perfect.
Watch it on Netflix? You can't watch it anymore, can you?
No, I think it's on like Amazon, I want to say.
Oh, is it? Maybe I'll watch it then.
I don't think it was ever taken down, but I guess now I probably can't watch it. But I always try and get my dad to watch it just because he reminds me. Obviously, my dad wasn't in politics, but like House of Cards, Kevin Spacey is a senator and then he's like House Speaker and then goes on to be president and all that. But I always try and get my dad to watch that show because I feel like him and Kevin Spacey of like that character are like so closely related. Yeah, right. Yeah, man. I try and get him all the time and they just never do. But enough about my personal life. Have we thanked our sponsors yet this episode?
No, we didn't actually.
I don't think we have. Did we add anybody new this week? Is there any new sponsors we want to add on? Obviously, who do we have so far? So we've got. Let's recap. So Subaru was one of our biggest, right?
Mountain Lightning,
and Dr. Thunder,
right?
Of course, our brothers and our friends over at Humble Beginnings Coffee Company. Got to make sure we shout out our guys over there. But
should we shout out our podcast too? Check out their new podcast.
Yeah, Humbly Speaking. Yeah, dude, let's talk about that shit for a minute. So I've listened to both of their episodes. It was really funny. So after John came on and we called him out about their podcast starting, he sent me the link kind of directly, like once as soon as it was posted. And for the life of me, I could not listen to it. I was trying to stream it because they were on Spotify, was like their main platform. Right. And I was trying to listen to it on my phone. And then it would like the link would work and it would just sit there and load and load and load. And then I put it on my computer, like the Spotify web player, and I couldn't get it going. And I got on my work phone. And finally, like after like 2 days of trying, I finally got it. And they knocked it out of the park. They're killing it. Their second episode just dropped a couple of days ago as well, where they brought it was Johnny, John, and Devin. So they had all three of the partners on there, and it was awesome. They killed it. Humbly Speaking is the name of the podcast. I know for sure they're on Spotify. I unfortunately do not know where else you can stream it. But check out Humble Beginnings Coffee Company on Facebook, Instagram. Humble Beginnings Coffee Co.com, I believe, is their website as well. Awesome coffee, even fucking better people. But I drink it at my house. I know you guys got a bunch of stuff last week or the week before as well. You guys got a bunch of coffee. I still, unfortunately, need to order my new hat because my old hat is just like sweat stained and falling apart because I wore it too much. But shout out to those guys. I'm not sure who should be our new sponsor this week, Lee. We talked Anheuser-Busch, I think, sponsored us a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Who's our new one?
Oh,
shout out to Beerakovich Brewing Company, not an official sponsor, but an absolute friend of the show. But fuck it, we'll upgrade them to official sponsor. Why not? Congratulations, Matt. You're an official sponsor of the show.
Something you didn't ask for. You're welcome.
Right. Bill Cosby, official sponsor.
No.
No.
She wasn't ready.
No. Who should we add this week? We need to add another. We need another sponsor, Lee. Who could it be?
Who would sponsor the show?
Nobody wants to sponsor the show. It's whoever
they don't know it yet.
Right. we tell them that they're sponsoring the show.
Oh man, I don't know. Tostitos. There's dip here.
Tostitos. There you go. Yeah, fuck yeah, Tostitos. Tostitos. Enjoy the crunch. I'm not sure what their slogan is. Whatever it would be.
I don't know. I don't know. Words are hard, guys.
Words are hard. I feel like it's tough having a podcast where we drink and go more than an hour.
That's true.
Especially when we drink craft beers or, in your case, fucking yogurt.
Oh, right.
We're drinking Miller Lights, but I feel like it is hard.
Yeah. And Lacey Neal Photography sponsors.
Shit. Lacey, you know what?
Legit.
Shout out Lacey Neal Photography and Tostitos, our two official. We had 3 new sponsors this week: Beerakovich Brewing Company, Tostitos, and Lacey Neal Photography. So, what the hell was that?
I muted and unmuted.
Oh, god damn!
Did you hear it?
No, yeah, it was weird.
Sorry,
I was very concerned. Oh man,
I was trying not to make weird noises in the microphone.
Yeah, well, you made it even fucking weirder.
When my awkwardness spills over, sorry guys.
Yeah, right. Oh man, the last like 5 minutes of this fucking podcast is us just losing our minds. Hey, Beerakovich. Hey, Matt. Just hey, did you guys try the? Did you guys try those brews we sent? Yes, we did, sir. We're talking about it right now.
Literally, that's awesome. Speak of the devil, right?
Yeah, right. So if you listen to our and minute almost 4 of the podcast, you'll hear us talking about it, sir. But yes, we did get the beers and we loved them and they were amazing. And again, our only complaint is that we drank them too quickly and didn't get to enjoy them as much.
I'm hoping it gets a bigger operation and we can start buying from them and getting more of it.
Oh shit. Oh, so here it is. And I will leave us with this note. And unfortunately, I wish I got this message an hour ago. So what's funny is I sent Matt a message saying, listen, we've talked about you guys a bunch on a couple of different episodes. You sent us beer before. We're super excited to send this. We got stickers, everything like that. We're telling people about you. How do you actually pronounce the name? Right. And so he just responded about 2 seconds ago.
Oh,
and it's beer, AHHHHK So Beerakovich.
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 That's how Lacey was saying it was said.
I think I said that the first time too. But then when I talked to Devin, I think, and sorry, Devin, for throwing you under the bus, I thought he just like went through it really quick, like Beerakovich.
Yeah.
Beerakovich. So
Beerakovich.
Just like how it looks, Beerakovich Brewing Company for the incredible Coco Craze, Hazy IPA, and the New Zealand IPA. What was it?
Shout out for remembering that. That was good because I had to
Hell
look.
Yeah, bro. I got you. It sat in my fridge for like a week. So
The
Zipa IPA. So shout out to Matt at Beerakovich Brewing Company, is absolutely killing the homebrew game. And make sure you check out his Instagram. Is tons and tons of really cool content, kind of behind the scenes of the whole brewing process, and send us some awesome new stickers. Just rebranded everything, and it looks awesome. I actually want to order new stickers, the same thing that he did, because dude, these are super primo. They're super nice.
Awesome.
I love them. So I'll chat with him and figure out where he ordered his from, because they
and
are
Beerakovich
awesome.
is easy to remember because it's like the noise you make when you're drinking it. Beerakovich.
Oh, dude, we gotta shut this shit down. We're getting out of control. Here it is, your favorite time of the episode, Lee Neal. Hit us.
And I still didn't write anything down. I'm never going to write it down. It's just going to happen.
God damn it, dude. Every time.
One of these days it'll flow.
One of these days, and that day, my friend, is right now. 3, 2, 1. Hit us. Take us away, Lee Neal, to close out the show.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you all. Don't forget to listen and subscribe. New episodes drop weekly. Shout out to our sponsors here, Humble Beginnings, Beerakovich Brewing. Don't forget to listen and subscribe again. Leave us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, whatever you do to watch the show. Don't forget to leave us a review. And also send us a voice message too on that link. We'll link in the description too. Thank you so much for listening again. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, dude, I love it. I do. I want to link. I want to link for the voice message as well. I think it'll be cool to play some more of those. So shout out to Adam for actually taking us up on that. But
yeah,
I want to call everybody else out. I want to see some more for next episode. It'd be cool. So if you have a question for the brewing process, so we're going to be at Cloven Hoof. So if you have, we're going to be meeting with them, with the brewer and the owner and everybody over there. So if you have questions that you want to ask about the brewing process, about a brewery, and anything beer related, they're going to be the ones to answer. So if you have a question,
you don't want to hit us up live, because we're doing that one live March 7th, 2 p.m. We'll do it live. Ask then. Or send a voice message and we'll play it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. If
or
you have
email us.
Right, yeah. Email us at what? Oh, shit. What is our email address?
Drinkaboutit@gmail.com.
Fuck yes. Lee Neal coming through. Dude. I love it. Yes. So send us an email, send us a voice message, slide into those DMs on Instagram, or shoot us a Facebook message. Anything you want to hear for next week. As we sit down with the guys over at Cloven Hoof Brewing Company in Ashtabula, Ohio. As Lee said, thank you guys all for tuning in with us again on another episode. If this is your first episode, I am so sorry, but please stay with us. It gets better and better every week. We absolutely love and appreciate the support everybody's given us.
To quote Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.